this is Springfield, Bob, and welcome to the big train show in Smithfield. Today is January something 2020, and we're here today to check out the trains.
GG1. Look at the ramps. They're going to drag the cars up on the car haulers.
Over here we have a mini N-scale layout with a couple of trains, and this one here is a Metrolink train. Back here on the HO scale layout, we've got some interesting stuff here. There's some Penn Central stuff for some reason, and there's Conrail and Pennsylvania Railroad. Over here there's a turntable with some trains and the longest train car in the world. One thing that I've come to realize about this layout is that's actually a very big one. Essentially two layouts connected together, and at the same time it's one huge layout. The trains only once every 10 minutes and they go very slow.
See, look.
And next to the big layout we have this small layout for the train going slow, but there's also a grade crossing that works when the train goes over it. This is my favorite scene on the big layout because we have a station here which actually looks like a pretty modern station. It's even got a bridge that goes over it, and down the road there's this scene, and then there's a bridge, a train bridge. Over here this since we have multiple gauges, we've got HO gauge in the center. We've also got S gauge, and we have the O gauge, which is a bit bigger with some of the slowest moving trains. We also have a G gauge loop. But since these trains are so slow, we're going to use a bit of a trick called the fast forward trick. Here we have a display. You have some trains, some cool, some not so cool. And here we have some Kato track, as you can tell by the Japanese writing. And I think this is HO track, I'm not really sure, but if it is HO track, I am actually quite impressed by the detailing. So one thing I should probably point out is that there is a lot of stuff at this show. In fact, there is so much stuff that I am not going to show everything, but what I will show is the key features on all the layouts. Anyways, there's a new transit train with some freight cars. And there's also a passenger set. Over here we have a small N-scale layout, and soon there's all these blocks here with different scenes, and they're all split up into multiple sections. I think this is sort of a thing where these guys, they get a bunch of club members together to design bits and bobs of smaller parts of the layout, and they connect it all together and make one giant layout. Here's a smaller N-scale layout, but a bit more impressive, or with some impressive detail, and an Amtrak train. Here's a much smaller layout, but it's got an ICE train, an ICE briefly, which I am very much impressed by, and a massive steam engine, which is also German. These two trains are apparently made by a brand called Pico, which makes the big steam engine, and of course the ICE4. Yeah, apparently here we have a model of the ICE3 running around the loop, but this box here is an ICE4. Either way, I am very much impressed, and if I had the money, I would totally buy it. Here's Hatton's. I know these guys are British, as you can tell by the trains, but are they coming over to America? Well, the answer is maybe, because these trains are British. We have a Class 08 and some old vans and a towed brake van, and on the other side we have another British steam engine pulling some more vans and some troublesome trucks, it seems, and a brake van. Actually quite impressive. Never thought I'd ever see British trains at a train show here in the United States, but I guess this show makes it possible. And next up is displayed with some iconic British trains. We have the in A4, the Dwight of Eisenhower, and of course the Flying Scotsman, a train that everyone knows, and some other British trains. We've got these plows, some steam engines, and some modern equipment. The Class 66 and a few liveries, including D.B. Shanker. Back on the end scale, we've got some cool trains over here, Amherst Superliners. We also have some foreigners. We've got this train, which I know is out of Japan, and we have this train, which I know comes out of the Swiss Alps. The livery on this one, I think, is actually quite cool, especially locomotive. Look, they even got the viaduct on the side. That is a really cool design, actually. Over here, we got some pretty cool train DVDs at some excruciatingly high prices. Yeah, you know, I probably would get a few of these, but 30 bucks? Really? Come on. I paid $15 for Le Mans starring Steve McQueen for $15 at Thompson Speedway. This is a crossing.
Trains are big! Trains are going!
Here we have some pretty cool stuff at this vendor. This is a New Jersey Transit streetcar thing, and a train that's actually going somewhat fast. Another one. I know there were two trains running on this layout. This train here seems like it's only got its own treadmill, and it's also a crossover. Oh, it's got a circle on it. Yes. Over here we have a carnival and a parking lot with an ambulance and some vehicles. And there's Tim Tom. He does move, and he probably will. There he goes. There goes that trolley. The speed! Check this out. I can control the lights apparently. You know, as Jeremy Clarkson said, in most bank jobs, a Ford Transit was used as a getaway vehicle. And now we have a yard with more trains. Oh, including this. An M7. And Tim Tom. So as this train here is going backwards isn't interesting, we've got a signal, we've got trees, and a grade crossing, and we're going to speed forward. Some other things, it's a tunnel that goes nowhere. Welcome to a scene that actually looks pretty realistic, I'll be honest. $40 for a pretty good picture of the MBTA Blue Line. It seems the more bigger you get, the more expensive you are. What century is this train from? Here we have some guys working on a broken track, whilst the Polar Express is going to be passing through.
Speed on yours. Okay. Oh, yeah. And I'll adjust accordingly. Okay, so I'll leave it at 2 feet. Yeah. Now we can over the watch.
Bridge.
Hey, were you blocked yet? How many cars are there?
Over here, we have a picture of the MBTA Red Line.
You remember where 671 was. Such as your
So you know what M7 I saw earlier? Well, I just realized that you can actually drive yourself apparently. We're gonna go full power because that's Jimmy Clarkson style. Hold up the controller. Now here's something cool. It's the Southern Pacific Daylight, and I think it's G scale, and costs a grand total of $1,200. You could buy a car for that much. And we got a coach here as well. Alright guys, we have some pretty cool trains over here. We've got the Norfolk Southern something. We've got a couple of the Pacific big boys. We've also got Amtrak Shunter and a cab forward. And over here we have some various New York City subways from the different eras. We even got the Redbird and the Silver and Blue Boy. Meanwhile, we also have this week's actually a pretty recent edition. And of course the George W. Bush units. And various other things here as well. And over here, and Amtrak Heritage unit, the P42 in phase 1. Here's the GG1, a bigger scale, a bigger price tag, and more stuff down here as well. Watch this. You see the silver guy that's staying still? Well, if we turn up the speedo, come on.
Simply tap Run by Trains.
The train starts to spin its wheels, but it's still going nowhere. Now, one thing that I probably should have mentioned at the start of this video is that this train show is actually split across 7 different buildings and 1 area. And in the first so many minutes of this video, we have taken a look at all of the cool stuff in this room. That's right, we still have 6 more to go. Let's get to it. Nice right over here, we have this very old layout here. Well, very old looking layout, I should say. Nice right over here, we have this. Check this out. Look at these interlockings. They're actually quite cool. Alright, we're in the next building now. And we got a long freight train. On the same layout, there's also these. This layout is actually quite massive. And there's also, well, I mean, there are, I don't know if you can see here. Moving over to the next sound, we have quite the scene here. It may look like that's a full baseball, but actually, that is a mirror. Over here, we have a long line of scenes, none of which are actually any part of any layout, but they could be. But this one, though, I think is the coolest because you have all the stuff here in the back here. You have an old-style MBTA Green Line tram thing. And it's even got a cannon area, which I think actually looks really cool. And a station, I just realized. Yes! On this layout here, we have a pretty interesting-looking bridge. We've also got the Challenger going over. With a train of piggybacks. With containers in them. And nice, right in that little yard over there, you have the HSP, a couple of some Acela Ampli coaches, and the Amtrak train. Of course, you have the slower trains in the line. I was actually gonna try to get a picture of a certain steam engine, not that one, another one. but then it decided to come to a stop. So, that's the thing. And now for a quick glance at everything as we go down this part of the layout. Of course, with how big how big the show is, I'm going to show everything. But I will, like I said earlier, I will show the key features. Now here's a model train that is absolutely massive. Look at that. Look at that massive size. That is actually quite impressive. And here's some more. This here is a pretty rusty track with some pretty massive trains, but surprisingly, this train here is actually moving. That's got a gun on it who's driving the train. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a steam engine. Here we have a layout that is much smaller, but it comes with a trolley car, as right here, which I think is quite cool. It goes down this little road here, which is basically some road running. We've also got some cars from the era as well, including a Cobra and a Porsche, as I just noticed. Over here we have some more scenes. The detailing on a lot of these is actually pretty good. This car here on this house kind of looks like it's on fire. This layout looks a little bit dangerous if there were to be a real one. Well, as in a real life layout. But there are trains, and I just noticed this one's coming along here. Oh yeah, you know what I told you guys about this layout being dangerous? It really is dangerous because there's a bloody army vehicle that's trying to get onto the tracks. It also looks like the Radiator Springs Grand Prix is getting underway. It's only about 9 years late, but it's here nonetheless, and there's a steam engine that's just stopped. Yes, look at this scene. We've got an MBTA, MPI blah 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 locomotive, an MBTA multi-level, and an MBTA streetcar, and an MBTA Green Line older tram car, and an MBTA, I don't know the name of this locomotive, that is like that, it's one of the non-revenue locomotives. With how rare it is to see MBTA HO trains, this little scene right here is absolutely perfect. And best of all, it's got a giant water bottle. Now here's a layout that I actually seen before, like a lot when I was younger. We have first surf next to a tanker. We've got diesel, which causes some confusion delay. Then we also have this crazy looking dinosaur train. I feel like there's Frankie next to our building. And on this upper loop, we've got bank coaches. And on this lower loop here, we've got the Polar Express. Over here we have a wooden layout which you can actually play with, or could if there were any trains. Oh, it didn't fall. Okay, well, it kind of fell over and derailed itself. Now here's a pair of layouts that I never showed that you guys actually seen before, so I'm not going to go into too much, but we do have a couple of interesting trains. We've got Ben and Tim some who've got a diesel engine in there. I think that looks pretty cool. And on the other layout we have bank coaches. And around the corner here, it's Edward. There's also come with more wooden railway layouts that you can play with. Some of which are seeing more life than others. Okay, now something a little bit more impressive. Here we have bank coaches, a massive version with a few soda trucks. Next is a bunch of American trucks and cars and coaches. This layout here is actually a pretty massive one. We've got a Chevy and it's like the sheriff from Cars. And don't worry, there are trains on this layout. All one train that's visible to the eye at the moment. Okay, is that looks like an MBTA station. Over here on the same layout, we have some stuff in the background, and we also have a barn with animals and a car. This train here is traveling at 2 miles an hour. Surprisingly enough, this train also has a back engine, yet still too slow. This here is a pretty cool looking scene. We've got a modern coach, well, semi-modern coach, with some older stuff here as well. I think now we're just gonna skim across this place so you guys can see everything. I was brought up for this scene, but there's more stuff over here. Patrick's just sitting there. There's more stuff in this mini yard. We have a curve with some scenery, not a lot though. About as much scenery as an average train simulator route in its very early phases. And I think we've already seen the stuff over there. Now we have a much smaller layout. I think this one is actually Z gauge. We've got a couple trains from a couple different countries actually, or no, is this Canada? Maybe. Train station, you say? Well, I mean, there is a train. Oh, well, there was a train, I think. Oh, there it is. You know, I was gonna say something about this, but no, I'm not going to, as the sign there just says it, well, it speaks for itself, really. Alright, here's something cool. It's a Lego, and first of all, look at that train there. That right there is about as modern as you can get when it comes to high-speed trains. That, I think that looks really cool. And this whole Lego layout looks pretty cool. Over here at this end, you have a, about 4 grade crossings with the most modern train that you can find in form of Lego. This here looks like a station. We also have some big buildings. That one looks like the Empire State Building, and the other building is pink, but it looks cool. Apparently this pink one, I just got to point out, it has cobwebs. I'm not seeing any cobwebs, but okay. Ah yeah, now here we have a huge yard of trains, old and new. And even we've got Tim Tom and Gridrin. That's an American train. They're pretty fast, and one of the older-ish Lego high-speed trains. But this one is an entire consist, because you know the one that you can or could buy before they update it, you know, was only the engine, the coach, and the dummy engine. But this is an entire train. I am actually very impressed. Oh, I just realized this coach here on Gridrin comes from the Emerald Knight set. We've also got a New Haven train. And back there we have the Horizon Express, aka the TGV in its orange form, or TGV Sut S or whatever it's called, and a Santa Fe train. And there's the American train. It's very fast, but that's okay. Fast is good. And you see, this train is about as patriotic as you can possibly get. Would definitely fit well with the Coke 0400 weekend, if that was still a thing. Hopefully that comes back in 2021, but anyway, trains. At this time we have the signal box and the Statue of Liberty. Over here we have a wind generator, or wind thingamajig, and a massive bridge.
Messy pile.
Over here we have some kind of section, which is like a tutorial section how you can detail trees for HO layout or whatever layout. I mean, it seems a bit unnecessary, but it's there, I guess. This mini layout here is a one of those incline layouts. So you've got the cogs and the tracks, and it seemed like this one was moving at one point, but now it's just dead.
It's building blocks. We don't say Lego.
Now this here caught my attention when I first saw it. It is the record-breaking TGV. I never thought I would see an HO version of these in the flesh, but here it is.
There you go, yeah, nice.
And we got some other trains from the country as well. And Germany.
How difficult is it?
And here are some more foreign trains, but very cool trains up here on display. There's also this train, which I think has also been around Markland, sponsored by Coca-Cola, and this one from the Pennsylvania Railroad. And over here we got some war tanks and some other trains, including this one here. Sinclair. For some reason, I feel like I've heard this brand from somewhere. They have a much bigger, well, big size though, anyway, with a bigger train. And I guess this one shows the show of automatic points or something. Are they supposed to be changed by themselves? Yes, they are. Oh, all these actually. And they include signals. Now that is really cool. Continuing with the European theme of this section of the video, we have this train here called X, and this is it's a bit of a scenic layout. It's even got overhead wires. I think I have seen this at another show, but here it is today. And continuing with the Germanness, as this train conveniently shows up when I start to hit the record button. We have this little scene here. So you can got the little tunnel and cannery. Boy, more Europeanness with this layout. And it's going to face off. There we go. This is actually one of those layouts that you can drive yourself, as you can see right here. This seems to be one of those A to B, B to A layouts, so therefore we're going to just whiz right through the scenery. So I don't see any trains.
You just found somebody to help. By the way, I'm going to need that record. There's this little... No, I would have to be here.
Oh. That's another endo, apparently.
Is still selling tickets, especially for the grand prize, a railroad trip, 4 days and 3 nights, for 2 people from Springfield to Lancaster.
Somebody download something.
Well, moving on to the next time we've seen better days. Here we have a train wreck, which even has Amfleet coaches. Well, it's got a P-42. Or no, 2 P-42s, one of which is the veterans unit, which is just sitting here helplessly. It seems like this train would have made the Silver Star. Well, actually, we kind of have the Silver Star. We've got a baggage car, a couple of viewliners, and the rest of the train. We've got another viewliner at the end here, and a New Jersey Transit train. Oh yes, it's got the multi-levels that New Jersey Transit actually uses, including the advertisement one. And at the end here, an ALP-45DP. Oh yes. Here's a cool looking scene with a fence, a power station, a maintenance building, and a yard, and a turntable and sheds. Here it comes. Well, one thing I've just had a realization of is that this show is in fact so big that we're already half an hour into this video, and yet I've only taken a look through the 2 buildings. So I'm thinking to speed this video up a little bit and take a bit of a quicker glance at these layouts. You know, I want to show everything and stuff, but I've only got so much time of the day and only so much recording space. Now this here is one of those rail explorers which you can take onto any abandoned railroads that you find, and you can ride the rails on this thing. I think this is actually cool. This train here, big. This next layout here has a station scene on it. There's another HO layout, which is near the other ones I just had a look at. This train here is too slow. This here is a new type ender train that is trying to do something. There's an entire historical railroad society dedicated to Penn Central. At this point, I'm just taking away the direction of this video by just showing you random stuff. This layout is cool, but at the same time, it's dead. There's no trains for miles. It's a train from Train Simulator. Anyway, welcome to this German route. I've actually showed off this route in a previous video, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, but I think I'm going to come up with a new plan for this video. So we're now half an hour to just get another second building, and there's about 6 buildings here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up the video by showing you the most interesting layouts in each building and stuff. So one thing I think that you guys should do as the viewers, if you live within a close enough radius of this train show, you should definitely come and see it for yourself because it is absolutely massive. You will wind up spending the entire day here. I actually got here at about 11:30. It is now almost 2:30, so I've been here for 2 hours. So actually, that's not even that much time. But yeah, I've only got so much time here either way. So let's speed this video up a bit, shall we? He says and yet he wants to see some other cool trains from the same layout. Look at this car. This one's got a pantograph on it. It's being pulled along. What kind of car is that? What is it used for? There's a different layout. A bit of a big one, so I'm always going to show this a little bit here. So usually I'd show every single layout at every single train show, but the thing is, like I said earlier, this train show is so big that it's actually quite difficult, I just come to realization, to fit every bit of the show into one video. And I was intending this video to be quite long, but considering the time of day that it is, and how little, and what the small portion of this video I've seen so far, yeah. I have now returned to the Lego layout because there is a different high-speed train on this route, or on this layout. I know it looks like the same thing as before, but it's a different paint scheme. So it must be seen. I was actually on my way out of this building now, but I've now come across this other cool stuff that I forgot to have a look at. Over here we have a bunch of trains that are on sale and stuff. We have these 4 trains on 4 different loops. This is going backwards and forwards, but that armor stuff on it. And over here, the blue convoy was just driving a few minutes ago, but now it's just stopped for some reason. And we're back to this scene because reasons. Now I'm just gonna say, I haven't shown everything there's in this room, but then again, like I said earlier, it's so massive that it's hard to see everything. So I'll tell you what, for the next few buildings, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna just look at the most interesting looking layouts, and hopefully skip this video a bit. This thing here is actually quite cool. This here is an entire station. Look at that. Okay, next building, and here I found a layout that's actually quite cool. We got a passenger train. Couple passengers actually. Here's a little mini layout. And there's even a new transit train and scale places. So I'm actually in the next building, which isn't that big, so it's going to be a bit easier to cover this one. This is going down. This layout isn't actually, or yeah, this building is actually too far as size is concerned, and it is this layout, but it does. Oh. Okay, well it does have a sort of movable brake crossing doodah. This next layout, pretty small one, but there's quite a lot of detail. This train here has a stretch of track all to itself, but it's not going anywhere. Now this out here is actually pretty cool. As you see, there's a Walmart and a Lowe's coming soon. Should be an ally. And there's a station. In the back here we have Providence and Worcester trains and some Amtrak box cars. And here at this service station, we're supposed to be an Amtrak station. We've got more Amtrak trains. And here's the back of the station.
303 was that? 308 and 303. And the stars? All red.
Nice note that this is here. Pretty cool. Okay, now this entire scene is what look, it's the Northeast Corridor. I've just realized. It's got a New York City subway, a highway, and a bridge. And over here in this 4-track section, this is the Newark Liberty International Airport, and this is the real deal. You've got your monorails like they do in real life. And not too far down the road, we have this bridge here. We have this train here. And we have Metro Park. And over here we have this tri-loop. It probably seems a little bit messed up. Kind of. We have the station above here. You have the trolley car over there. And a septic train. So this stuff is on sale. I think it's worth a look. Oh, they made Paxton in the NATO scale model? Didn't know that. You won't believe it, but I have found some knockoff Thomas and Friends toys. So I have found some more interesting stuff as far as vendors are concerned. We have a Corvette C6. But we've also got a 4GT. Yes. And a few other cars. And one of these. These trains on display here are actually pretty cool. And expensive. This here is the bridge, which is the part of the only layout in this building that I'm in right now. Which will make it easier because I can just go right through this building and see this train. The only one I've seen on this layout. And now here's the start of the show. It's a real steam engine. Pretty cool to see a live steam engine if you ask me. Well, hello sir. An A64 Veterans Unit HO scale. The second A64 HO scale that's seen now. We've also got a GG1 and N scale. And one thing that I've actually realized about the HO64, that has sound, but I can tell you that sounds nothing like the real thing. Over here we've got a, this way, a milk truck. We've also got a very slow moving train down here, and another train that's fairly slow. We have some modern stuff, and some old stuff. And here we are on the island of Sowas. Now we have Bridgman and Spencer. Well, got Mavis, he goes backwards and forwards. Richard Government goes backwards and forwards here. We've also got Rosie, who will probably be coming out shortly. There, she just stopped there, she's going backwards now. We've also got Reneus, an N scale. Or no, on N scale. HO Narrowing scale, we've got Tim Tom and Emily. And up here we have Harold and Jeremy the Jet Plane. And here we have the sheds. And Scarlow is here as well. So here this land we have an Amfleet coach and some other stuff. And for good measure another AC64 and a train of soup liners. Ah yes, the gas turbine. And there's the first SEPTA A64 and HO scales I've seen. This here looks pretty cool. Here's some more cool stuff in N-gauge form. Yes, yes, yes. And it's another AC-64, this time in the form of N gauge. And this train, I realize, is actually double-ended. We've got Ampley coaches, Ampley ones. They're now crawling along here. We've got the new baggage car, which is now an N scale, and a P42. Well, I think now as we look at all this cool rolling stock, I think at this point it is time to end the video. And this is a video that's been, well, it's an interesting one. I have made longer videos on train shows. In fact, the Hingham train show from 2017 or 2018 or something, the video that I made was about, well, it was split in 2 parts, but had I combined that video, it would probably be around an hour and 20 minutes or so. So of course this video is not as long for the fact this is a much bigger show, but then again, I've spent most of today just walking and stuff, trying to see everything. And this show was really just so gargantuanly large that it's kind of, you know, it's kind of hard to fit everything into one video. And I'm not sure if this video has been fairly entertaining, but I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. So yeah, not much else to say really, but I guess one thing I should say is that if you live somewhere close to this show, I might even put the link in the description to more information about the show. Definitely go to the show and check it out for yourself, because there is many things to see. In fact, I guess one thing I should probably mention is that this show is actually split up into 6 buildings, but it's all on the same property, so you have to drive from one building to the other. But there is just so much to see with how massive the show is. There's many layouts, many vendors, and many things up for sale. So and I think at this point I'm just spoiling you guys with this video and everything to see. And I think I've done so much spoiling to the point where I'm gonna skip out most. I'm gonna say that in this video there are a lot of things that I skipped out on in this show because I wanted to make this video as compact as possible. So if there is something in this video that you want to see that is at this show, then I do apologize for not showing it. But I guess that's a bit of encouragement for you guys to go and see this show for yourself. So, you know, again, if you're a fan of model trains, you know, if you want to buy them or maybe even sell them, come to this show because it is definitely well worth your time. So with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If we did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. That's a fail.